Hello YouTube, welcome back from my stoep. It's my first video in the new year. It's a nice hot summer humid day here in Lowveld, South Africa, and I'm enjoying this Saturday afternoon with my Savinelli Punto Fumo first smoke. Probably a pipe for a beginner, but it's quite nice. Maybe the only bad thing is that little filling there, but otherwise it smokes quite nice. And I'm continuing on my series of Who Am I and all my interests. So today will be about my interest in food and cooking and recipes and all those kind of things. Now remember I said that my wide variety of interests is probably because of my curiosity and exposure. And again, I need to thank my father for exposing us to a lot of nice food and different foods. And I remember when we were kids, we went once a month, I think, or once every now and then. He took us to a very smart English colonial type of restaurant where we had a 3 or a 4 or a 5 course meal, just for us to to get exposed to those kind of things, because obviously at home you normally don't eat like that. And the other nice thing is, for some reason, we were also exposed to different foods, not only the typical South African food of rice, potatoes, and a good leg of lamb or something like that, which is not bad. I mean, obviously it's very nice, but we got exposed to Mediterranean foods and tapas and pestos and pastas and those kind of things. So, tasting different countries' food started fuming that curiosity. So so that made me or gave me an interest in food. And I think the other reason is at one stage, when you get 16, 17, 18, you can never eat enough. It's like there's a worm in your body that eats everything that comes out, just gets away again. So I was constantly hungry, and the only way to get some more food outside of the normal breakfast, lunch, dinners was to go and get something myself. So my mother's motto was, if you can read, there's a recipe books, there's the kitchen, help yourself. So that's what I did. At first I thought, what cruel mother. I mean, at least you could have made me some food. Now I thank her, because there's no recipe which I am afraid of. There's nothing that I won't do or not do just because I don't know how to do it. If you can read, you can do almost anything. So so that's how I got interested in food, and then started making things and testing recipes and changing recipes. I like to make a recipe, and then after a while I start with some experimenting. And then the other thing, later in my life, as I also said earlier, I'm a very nostalgic person. So I like to experiment, or to go back to the way and the things our grandparents did. So instead of buying bread, I started baking bread. And instead of buying a ciabatta, I started making my own ciabatta. And the nice thing about that is except for the experience of kneading and doing yourself, and the satisfaction of seeing this awesome bread that you just baked yourself, and that rose double the volumes and everything, it's also more healthier, I think, because you don't put in all those extra rubbish that commercialized mass production puts in. For example, all these preservatives and colorants and flavorants and whatever not. So yeah, that to me is very nice. I sometimes do get a bit irritated about all the rubbish that people do put into food. And I understand that because, they need to extend the shelf life of things. But, we're losing the real value of providing for yourself, and having and getting all the good food. So that's what I do. I love to try my own things and to make my own things. I remember when I was a kid, we had to put out a milk bottle with a coupon in on the street, and then the milk trolley will come past and give you a liter or two of milk, and one day and it's gone. Tomorrow it's sour. If you don't drink it that day, it's gone. Now milk can be in your fridge for about 2 weeks to 3 weeks. So just imagine what they put in there to preserve it for that long. And fresh milk from a cow with all those cream on top is just amazing. So yeah. And then the other thing which I also gets a little bit irritated on is the GMOs, and my wife is actually a specialist on that area because she's a pharmacist. So she likes to investigate and to find out and to read about it. But all I know from my point of view is that by modifying, for example, wheat or corn, just to mass produce or to produce certain things, I just don't think that's the way we should go for future. There's two schools, obviously. One school says we don't lose any of the vitamins and the good sources of those products. The other school says no, we do lose. I'm also an holistic person or holistic thinker, and I do think that we need to see things in a holistic manner. It's no use to just change one thing to get one other result or to fix one thing. There are holistic things of interactions of different factors and things in human life and in produce and all those kind of things, which I think does play a role. And maybe we haven't even got all the answers yet, but interesting enough, for example, they told us for a long time that fat and oils and cream and those kind of things are very unhealthy, and you should go to margarine and not butter and that. But then a next scientist will come and say, no, actually we need those kind of fats. And you look at other people who lived on those things for ages and did not get heart attacks. And then you start wondering, again, that's the holistic thing. Maybe it's not the fats and the oil that produces the heart attacks, but the tensions and the stress and the rat race that we are in that also plays a role in producing that. So yeah, I like to make my own food and make my own mayonnaise and aiholis and pestos and all those kind of things. So that's my interest in food. I like cooking. I like to bake and try things. And then lastly, I'm still waiting for a book that I want to order about as food as a religious or as a communion thing, because I do agree with one of Geoffrey the Giant's videos where he reviewed Food for Thought, a book that he read, and I do think there's something. And again, that was what's happening in our family. There were no TV when I grew up, so eating was not just getting a plate of food and stuffing your body as quick as possible, or in front of the TV. We sat at table and had a conversation. So there was a communion character on food. Food is a happening. Eating is a happening. It's not just stuffing your body and getting all the vitamins. It's a communion, it's a happening. And no wonder the early church had communion every time when they came together and ate together. So I do think we're losing that discussions and that social community by not sitting together and having lunch or having dinner and discussing things and talking to our kids. And so to me, food is is not just eating. It's not just something that my body need. If you need, if you look at food that way, go to the hospital and get yourself a drip. You can get everything that you need in that. But food is more than that. Eating is a community social activity which we as a family try to do as most as possible, at the table, or without any disturbances of TV or something else. I mean, pause the TV for that matter, and let's go and have and sit together and talk together. So that's my viewpoint and my interest in food and recipes and cooking. And I'm still waiting for my tobacco to make a top 10 for the year. Luckily, I did a top 5 recently. But listen to the nice birds there in the sky. So friends, thank you for watching. That is me, who I am. My interest in food. Next delivery will be on one of my other interests. And I will surely come back to faith and grace and philosophy, because I do think that I made one, and I've got plenty to say about those kind of things. So watch out. Thanks for watching, and if you like, subscribe, and enjoy your journey with your pipe. It is a journey. It is part of tradition and nostalgia, so that's where this fits in. So, enjoy your day and your new year, and thank you for watching. See you later then. Thanks. Bye-bye.